Welcome to the Motherhood and podcast, where we talk about motherhood and everything else, because we're not just mothers. Today is our finale episode, which is kind of going down the drain. But we are going to do some like rapid fire, funny, homesteading, homemaker related questions. And they are from ChatGPT. We do not claim to be so popular that we have enough followers to even send us questions or respond to our question boxes on Instagram. So we definitely are going to be we're honest about it. We typed it into ChatGPT and got some questions back. So, first question. Here we go. Anna, if you could magically transport one modern convenience back to pioneer times, what would it be and why?
Indoor plumbing, because I deal with my child's poop because I cloth diaper. And that is humbling enough of an experience. I don't also want to have to deal with mine and my husband's as well. So, yeah, I appreciate indoor plumbing wholeheartedly. Yeah. So that would be what I'd be taking back. I can do the like washboard washing, hanging it out on the line to dry. I enjoy that. That's fine. That doesn't bother me. We can cook over a fire. All that's good. But the less that I have
like
to
that's what you would have to keep is indoor plumbing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying like I would be okay with going without all the other things. But the less that I have to deal with my own human waste, the better. Are you gonna answer that one too, and then I'll ask you a question, or how are we doing this? This has had zero forethought or planning, y'all. I don't know if it's showing, because I'm sure it is, but
okay, yeah. If you could magically transport one modern convenience, I think it's saying like pick a modern convenience and change it back to how it used to be. I think is what the question was.
Wait, what? Am I misunderstanding? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Where do you even see this question?
It's on the. It's in the chat here on the thing. It's in the second chat that I sent.
Okay. I see it now. No, I think it's saying like you would be living in pioneer time, but you can take one thing from now.
Oh. Okay.
Back.
Okay, what would I take? Probably the shower.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, they technically had, but they didn't bathe that often, right? Nowadays people shower, once a day, maybe, twice a day, some people.
My husband has hit the shower, 2 to 3 times a day. He just, Look, the first 6 months postpartum, I was good to be taking a shower every 3 days.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's how I felt. And he was getting 3 in a day. Guys crack me up.
Well, I can't get I'm the one that, you need to be clean at night to get into the bed because I like keeping the bed clean.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's, gets home. But now, because he, works outside and he sweats, he takes a shower every time he comes home. But before, when he had not an outside job, it was, he would still sweat. So he was still gross when he came home. But he was like, I just took a shower 2 days ago. I don't need a shower. And I was like, get your butt in the shower. And he's like, no. And I was like, I don't know, it threatened him with something. If you don't get in the shower. So, terrible. Yeah, that's
we have a family friend who, and this is according to my husband, this is his lore that he has told me, but combining our two things together, the need for showers and indoor plumbing, he told me that this friend will not poop in public places at all. Like, he will hold it till he is at home where he can shower immediately after pooping every time.
Okay. I mean, A+ for sanitation.
So I don't know if he's like saving money on toilet paper, or if that's like what's happening there, or if it's just like, I'm not sure. I'm sure it's just the need for cleanliness, but
Yeah.
I do think that's kind of funny, and also impractical. Like, if you gotta poop, you gotta poop.
Okay, moving on. Try to keep these rapid fire.
Oh yes, yeah, rapid fire.
If you
Why do we expect me to be rapid fire?
I'm gonna keep us on task. We're gonna try to make this like a 10-minute episode. Maybe.
Ooh, that's not gonna happen.
Or if you want, but it's already at 10 minutes.
Do you want me to ask the next question?
And
then we just go back and forth.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. What's the most ridiculous quote husband manual rule you've ever heard or implemented? And I'm taking this as like, it could be either how husband manual, how your husband is supposed to be a husband and treat you as a wife, or how are you supposed to treat him as your husband?
Yeah, I take it as me like treating him.
Okay.
Okay, this might go on like an off-topic rant, but some specifically Christian, that kind of thing that I've seen.
Christian, say like Christian people, or Christian like your husband?
Christian people,
okay.
Like Christian manuals, Christian advice. Say that you shouldn't refuse your husband sex ever. Like, they harp on the fact that, like, that's his and you need to give it to him. And that turns me off. Okay, I don't like that. There's nuance in everything. Like,
yes, agreed.
Like, you own each other's body. Like, your body is each other's. It's not, the wife needs to give her husband sex every single time he asks, otherwise she's a terrible person. So, I have not implemented that, but that is a dumb one that I've heard.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be sexually available to your husband 100% of the time. It needs to, like, soothe his problems. It needs to be his fix for everything. No.
No, I totally know where you're coming from, and I have seen that in some books too. So, yeah, I can get behind that. And that is not to say that I don't think that you should be having sex with your husband. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, that's not what we're saying here. But and like that, like you said, there's no nuance that doesn't take into the account of like the higher drive or lower drive partner, because not always is the man the one who has the higher drive, and
right.
So what if he's refusing you to have sex? And yeah, so anyway, my answer to the question is, I saw this on Facebook one time. It was like a newspaper clipping, and this was on the side of like how a husband should treat his wife. And it was like,
was it from what I sent you?
Maybe it was. Was it the one about the rubber ducky?
Yeah.
Yes. That was so funny. Yeah, it was like, you should buy her a rubber ducky and like that for the bath. And I just thought that was hysterical. Did you send me that? Seriously?
Yeah, I did.
I don't remember that. Okay, well, see, there you go. You have provided my answer. That was so funny.
Some of those included in that screenshot that I sent you were like give her a cigarette at the end of a long day. I remember something in there being about a cigarette.
Oh, yeah, some of them were pretty wild. Some of them were just like, basically, you should treat your wife like she's a sweet little girl and like baby her a little bit.
They were really nice.
And yeah, and sometimes you do just want to be babied. Okay, do treat me like that, please. There's a reason why we call each other babe and baby as, you know, terms of endearment. Sometimes you just want to be babied by your spouse. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay.
Oh yeah, I asked Christian.
Buy me a pretty dress and say you're taking me out for dinner, okay?
After babying and taking care of the baby all day, I want to be taken care of. Next question is, what is your go-to dance move for a victorious day on the homestead?
My
like,
go-to.
You just crushed it and you're like trying to get your energy out and you're like, yeah. Like, what's your go-to move?
So see, this is generally what my day looks like. I start out hopeful and maybe have a dance party at the top of the day to get ourselves hyped up for it. And then by the end of the day, it's like someone just give me a hot cup of tea, a scalding bath, and a bed to sleep in. So if I feel victorious at the end of my day, I'm not usually like celebrating. I'm more like, I want to rest. I want to relax. Yeah, so I don't like celebrate after I've had a good day. Generally, it's like, did another one of my chickens get eaten today? Yeah, I lost another hen on Sunday while I was at church. Yeah. So and two of them are roosters when I was supposed to have no roosters. So now I have 4 hens and 2 roosters. Got to get rid of a rooster so that they don't start fighting with each other. So anyway, I haven't had many like worth celebrating at the end of the day homestead days lately. It's been like, a snake is gonna get in this hole and eat my chickens. The goats are messing up my chicken bin even more. The goats are escaped now, and I can't chase them back in because they just ran like 10 acres away. Yeah, that's been what's going on. So I don't have a go-to dance move. My morning start of the day dance move. I don't know.
Usually you just shake my butt in front of my husband.
I'm always like being goofy with that's when I'm dancing. Yeah. And so, you know, I'll do the like little like finger point thing, you know. Homeschooler, we dance pretty bad. I have all the things going against me. I am a white female who is also homeschooled. So
zero. But okay, but you like play the piano, so you have like musical timing though.
Yeah, to a degree, but like not like rhythm like being a drummer. Yeah. I have to be very critical about how I count out my timing and my beat.
Oh, okay. It's not like intuitive, like you're with the rhythm.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
I dance really poorly. Stupidly. Like it's really bad. Like
partner dancing or like.
No, I mean just like it gives everyone in the room second and third hand embarrassment watching me.
Even if it's like folk dancing, like with a partner, like are you bad at that?
I've not really done much of that. In college, I did a couple. Some of the dance majors taught like a, class that you could go to for free once a week, and it was like traditional swing dancing, and I did a couple of those classes, and those were really fun. And I wasn't absolutely terrible at it, but yeah, maybe I just need somebody to help lead me in the dancing, and it's better. I've always liked the idea of that, but
me and Christian would always go to, because up in Oregon they have, it's called the Tauscher dances. It's this family, the Tauschers, and they put on these. It's not country dancing. It's folk dances / homeschool vibes / prairie vibes / that kind
Okay.
of vibes. But it was super fun because one time it was like out on someone's farm and like their backfield with like twinkle lights, and like in old churches, and so fun. I used to go to them all the time.
Okay, next question. If you could invite a historical figure to help you with chores on the homestead for a day, who would it be and why?
Got it. Carolyn Ingalls.
I was about Ma Ingalls.
Duh.
If Ma Ingalls shows up on my homestead, I am set for life. Can you imagine how much you could learn from her in just a single day? It'd be incredible.
Yep.
There's
I'm like going through.
You can actually learn just from reading Laura Ingalls' books. And like just reading through the Little House books. Like I remember reading one for the first time and how she instead of using like paraffin wax, which a lot of people use for their cheese, she used butter to coat it, and the fat like seals the cheese, and she just like, continually applied it so that it was airtight, and you know the cheese could age that way because butter is a fat and it keeps it airtight and it doesn't spoil. So I was like, duh, that makes so much sense. Yeah, would love to have Ma Ingalls.
Okay. Here's a good one. What's the most embarrassing thing your pets have done on camera while you were trying to film them? And I'm gonna like give a caveat, like, let's say like in your presence. Like it doesn't have to be like you were trying to film. But like, what's the funniest thing they've done?
I'm trying to think. If it was gonna be like something that they've done, it would be my dog, because she's the one who always was doing stuff. But I feel like I always was taking videos of when she was a puppy, and it was always like cute stuff, it was not like embarrassing. I don't know. That's hard to answer. Like, what is embarrassing? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure she probably like diarrheaed on the floor or something like that.
Something that comes to mind for me is so we have a male and female sheep. Lancelot is the boy sheep. Lil Miss is the girl sheep. And they're just now starting to get like sexually mature. And so when she pees, he'll come up behind her midstream, smell her pee, and then lifts his lip up like, oh yeah, I like that.
Now, I have seen the cows do that. Yeah. Stuffy has definitely just drank straight from the faucet. It's disgusting.
Ew.
Absolutely disgusting. Yeah. I was standing there, I was just like, how is that turning you on? That's so gross. And I'm pretty sure I came inside and asked Caleb, I was like, have you ever thought about drinking my pee?
Oh my word.
I was like, no,
I
actually,
hope you
the thought has never crossed my mind.
But the animal's outside,
That's hilarious. Okay. So. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, now this is more general. What's the funniest or most cringe-worthy thing you've ever had to nod and smile through at a family gathering? I feel like that's kind of hard to answer for me because there's a lot of things that the average person around my family would be like, mouth wide open, eyeballs bugging out. But for us, we do not really we bear it all, you know. There is
Right.
nothing not on the table. And so except for bodily functions, like growing up, my dad, if you passed gas or if you burped at the dinner table, you were like excommunicated. And so, with there being 5 girls and 1 boy, my brother was outnumbered in that regard. And so he grew up to feel very much the same way as my dad did. And I think us girls were a little bit more loose than even my brother was, like around the dinner table or in general. And now, like being with my husband, who's from another family who had other brothers who didn't care whatever they burped and farted. Now it's just like whenever and wherever. So I would say probably something along the lines of that happening at the dinner table around my dad, and my dad like losing his ever loving mind and just trying to, smile and not laugh. I don't know. That would be the only thing that I could think of.
I can't think of anything. Like, I know there's like embarrassing moments that I think back and I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. But I don't know. I feel like our family likes to avoid conflict, so it's like if someone shows up that there's like an issue with, it's like there's no conflict. It's just everybody just like.
Oh no, see, we don't avoid the conflict at all. It's just like out there completely. So like you can't. There's nothing to like smile and nod and move on about. It's just like get your business all out in the open and then get it over with. That's
Right.
so.
Yeah. Totally different families, you and I.
Yeah, you did mention the other day that my family could be their own reality TV show, and it's very true. It would be interesting.
What is your guilty pleasure when it comes to indulging in a little self-care in your home?
My guilty pleasure?
I don't really like the term guilty pleasure because I feel like I don't have anything that I'm like. I feel like guilty pleasure means like you're addicted to it and like you can't.
That or you're
Not
trying to, like, you would keep it from other people, like you're trying to hide it.
right.
Yeah, and there's nothing, I don't feel guilty about any of the pleasures that I have.
Yeah.
I think that your everyday life, you should experience life pleasurably. You shouldn't be, going out of your way to pursue guilty pleasures because your day to day life is so boring that you need to outsource. The furthest I would say that I would, describe to be a quote guilty pleasure would be literally just taking a hot bath with, maybe some Epsom salts and a lit candle in the back and listening to some classical music while I sip a hot cup of tea or a nice latte. The only reason why that would be an out of the ordinary pleasure is that I don't get to take baths by myself very often. Yeah, that'd be the only thing. It's usually just a quick shower or, putting the baby through the bath or something like that. But to take an actual, like, soaking bath is a pleasure that I don't frequently get to enjoy.
Yeah. So. Are we both answering the questions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are times where like because we tried to do like the Weston A. Prince diet, ancestral eating, like focus on meat, raw dairy, that kind of thing. No seed oil, that's whatever. But there are times when it's like it's been a while since I've had something, and I just like conjure up like this spread of unhealthy food that I would want. And it actually never comes to fruition because we can't afford to buy everything that I imagine in my head.
Like, you're still waiting on that strawberry cheesecake ice cream.
Yeah. We went and got ice cream last night. And okay, we went to Marble Slab. And I swear that they had like cheesecake pieces that you could put in the ice cream,
Yeah.
but they didn't.
What? Okay. Last question. Have you ever had a cooking disaster that was so epic, even the dog wouldn't touch it? I have.
Yes, but I can't. Oh, I think I oversalted, like very oversalted something, and Daphne licked it, and she was like, and walked up. It was some kind of soup. I think it was like broccoli cheddar soup that I was making when we lived up in Oregon, and she was like, "That is way too salty." So.
Whenever we were early married, yeah, we would have been married for a month. Yeah, so we got married in November. In December, for my husband's job, they did like a dirty Santa, and he ended up with a bottle of red wine. And we don't drink alcohol, but I have cooked with it before, and so I was like, oh yeah, we'll keep the bottle of red wine, and I'll put it in some sort of something. And at that point, we didn't have a dog yet, but I'm sure she would have not eaten it if that had been the case. Um, and I I know now that with red wine you do darker meats, and then with white wine you do like fish or chicken. But I think all I had was chicken, and so I was like, oh yeah, it'll be totally fine. And I was gonna try to make this like pasta that had like a red wine, something sauce. So it with like it was like a pasta casserole. Okay, let me describe this to you. It was disgusting. So it had like zucchini and like carrots and like other vegetables in it, with like penne pasta noodles and grilled chicken, and then some sort of like tomato based sauce that I tried to put the red wine into. And then I put it like into a casserole dish and like topped it with cheese and like, baked it a little bit. Um, it was absolutely horrid. My husband can tell you about this dish to this day because it was so bad. He will never forget it. And he literally took like one bite. He was like, I'm not eating this. I'm sorry. And so we ended up dumping the whole thing into the trash can. And the juice from the sauce ended up leaking through the bag into the bottom of our trash can. And I think we ended up just throwing the trash can away because we never could get the smell of that sauce out of the bottom of the trash can. It was so terrible. Yeah, that is single-handedly, I think, the worst meal I've ever made, and I learned really quickly to never
Yeah.
use red wine in that kind of dish again. Yeah. Also like a vegetable chicken pasta casserole. Don't do it. Nasty. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just like fridge foraging. Like, here's what I have. Let's see if I can make something with it.
Yeah.
0 out of 10. Yeah. But anyway, that's my cooking disaster. So, end of our questions, and I guess closing out our season finale.
Yeah, I think we're both over it right now. We've been doing this for longer than is actually filmed. So
Yeah.
trust us and that it's we're tired. But yeah, we're gonna have a 3-week break. And then next season we're gonna try to have some guests on. We want to do our husbands, so definitely we know we can get them. So we will do our husbands. I know we kind of wanted to maybe talk about like birth with both of our husbands because my husband was there with me for our free birth and is totally open to that, whereas Anna's husband's a little bit more hesitant about that. So maybe a conversation about that. I know we wanted to do like meet the husbands, talk about how we met our husbands, maybe our romance stories. And then we are trying to get other people in the works to get onto the episodes, and the episodes will be focused around them and their stories. And
yeah, so if any of you have suggestions on like people that you think would be really cool to see on the podcast and hear us talking to and interviewing, chatting with them, we would be totally open to your suggestions. Like you said, we have a few people that we already have our eye on. Hopefully we can get them on to talk, because that'd be super cool. But kind of like a guest-focused season, I suppose.
Yeah. And if not, then it's gonna be us again.
And that'd be you and me, baby! I refuse to go back and listen fully to any of our episodes, because I feel like I'm just gonna embarrass myself.
Yep.
Yeah. This is a season of learning how to do this.
Yeah.
I definitely am not going to call myself an expert yet, by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, we need to fix our backgrounds and like.
Yeah, we probably need to get better like microphones and cameras.
But here's the thing. I think it's better to just start it and improve.
Agreed.
Rather than always talking about, oh, I'm going to start this podcast, and thinking that you have to have all this expensive equipment to even start it. Like, we'll get there one day, but like, if we're just talking about it, like, oh yeah, one day, like, we actually started it. So, yes. I'm proud of us for that.
We did the thing. Yeah, I am proud of us for that. And we've done now 10 whole episodes, a full season. And we're going to be coming back for season 2.
Woo.
What are you going to be doing on the break between season 1 and 2?
Probably either selling our house or fixing it up. So,
that sounds super daunting.
Yeah.
I'm going to be going to the beach. So.
Oh yeah, you're going to Florida.
Yes, we're going to the beach in Florida, so I'm super excited about that. And then also probably reassessing my life, which we've talked about off camera, and figuring out what direction we're switching to in terms of house building. So, yeah. All right. Well, Sophia's getting a baby, and sounds like my baby just got home by the sound of footsteps upstairs. So,
good timing.
Any last remarks?
Nope.
But we hope you enjoyed our ChatGPT sponsored questions today. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see y'all here in a few weeks. Stay tuned for season 2, and thank you so much for joining us for our season finale episode on Motherhood and podcast, and we will see you then. Bye.
Bye.